Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Claudia, and here we talk about all of the things that might be a little bit uncomfortable and all of the truths that I feel need to be said. This is a chit chat kind of channel, so if that's something that you're interested in, definitely keep on watching, subscribe, like and comment down below. For those of you that are returning, my setup is different. I finally got a look. Oh my god, I'm literally obsessed with it. It looks so good. We did a whole lot of rearranging of the whole flat, and I'm just obsessed. I want to do a flat tour so bad once it's all finished, just because I'm so happy about how it looks. But that aside, today we're going to be talking about how your environment impacts your reality, and how sometimes you need to cut things out, cut people out, and make those difficult choices in order to benefit you, because at the end of the day you are living your own life, and therefore you should be making decisions that are best for you. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, go get a cup of tea, or maybe even a coffee, a matcha, cheeky little boba. Come sit down, maybe a little cheeky snack as well, and let's get into it. The first thing that I definitely wanted to talk about is how a lot of people don't realise how much their environment impacts their day-to-day life. And by environment, I mean your living environment, I mean your friendship circle, your job, everything. Literally every single thing that falls into the environment category, whatever that may be. It has such an impact on who you are, who you want to be, and where you want to go. And I think it's really important that we kind of talk about ways that we can change our environment to be best aligned with the person that we want to be. So for an example, because I love my little cheeky analogies. Also, take a shot every single time I say cheeky. It's actually unbelievable. Like, I think it's a new favourite word. It's like bingo. But basically, something that I definitely feel is a great example of like your environment impacting you and how it affects your everyday life is definitely your friends and just the people that you associate yourself with the most. I'm going to start with that because I feel like the relationship aspect of your environment is probably the one that has the biggest impact on who you are, who you want to be, your manifestations, etc. By the way, if you can see that, made by Mitchell, I have tried an oil-based cleanser and it's still not coming off, so I do apologise. The relationship aspect of it, it's so true that you become who it is that you surround yourself with. I think the saying is like the top 5 people that you surround yourself with are the people that you most likely start to become, and it's so true. You start adopting the way that they speak, you start adopting the kind of like humour, the jokes, their thought patterns, and I think it's just the way that it is. Us as humans, we are social beings. I know for me, like myself, I love to be around people to an extent. I also do really like my home, and I like to stay at home a lot. But like for the most part, we are social creatures. We need socialization, we need friendships, we need people around us to make us feel like we're part of something, to give us purpose, to give us hope, etc. I feel like those are all very important things in our life. However, that being said, you should really choose wisely who you want to hang out with. Throughout the years, I've definitely had my fair share of people that I've allowed into my life, and it's really interesting how those people impact your everyday. For an example, if you have loads of friends that are like really bad with finances, you're going to find yourself in weird financial struggles. If you have friends that are just mean and want to talk shit about everybody, you're going to find yourself doing the same thing. If you have friends that celebrate one another and that take the time to actually care for everything that's around them, you're going to find yourself doing the same. If you have friends that really take pride in their appearance and the way the world sees them, you're going to start adopting the same behaviours, and it is just the way that it is. And like, it doesn't even have to be friends, it can be family as well. I understand that for people that are living with like family members, it's a lot more difficult because you can't really kind of like get away from it if, let's say, they just don't believe in the same things that you believe in. But that being said, there's still things that you can do in your environment, in your everyday, to reflect what it is that you want to become. My next point, so that's friendships, that ticks off friendships. Why would you hang around somebody who keeps shitting on your dreams? And I say that in like the nicest way possible, but I feel like we've normalized that so much where, you know, you tell people what it is that you want to do with your life, and the first thing that they do is they jump on it and they start criticizing it and make you feel bad about it. Why would you want that person around you? Why are you letting them in your environment? Because then what happens is they plant a seed of doubt in your mind, and that seed of doubt grows, and then before you know it, you no longer want to do what it is that you set out to do initially, and all of a sudden all of your goals change and everything changes because you're trying to basically fit in with the crowd, and you don't want to deal with the criticism. And criticism in itself is like, it's a really difficult thing because nobody wants to feel rejected. I personally really struggle with rejection, and I really struggle with criticism. Not necessarily that I take it bad, but I take it on board so much that I just want to please everybody, and that's not possible. You can't make everybody happy. It's physically impossible. But that being said, like, I started noticing that everything that I wanted to do, certain individuals in my life would be like, that's not a good idea, or how are you going to do this? And they were just being a little bit negative about things. And when you distance yourself away from that, you actually realize that your environment is a lot more positive because you create the environment that you want to be in. And when you create an environment that fosters growth and that nurtures the ideas that you have, and basically just puts it in a place where it's the best environment for you to be in to grow to your full potential, things change like crazy, and they change so quickly, and before you know it, you're exactly where you want to be. Why wouldn't you want that? Like, I find it mind-boggling that so many people have like really big dreams, myself included, really big dreams. They want to go places, they want to do things, and then they make themselves so small to fit in the environment that they're currently in. You know what? This is going to sound crazy, but what made me have this realization is actually my plants. So I have a lot of plants. You can see some of the plants in the reflection. I have plants everywhere in the flat. I've got loads. My Swiss cheese plant, I'm going to absolutely botch the actual name of it, Monstera deliciosa, I think. Definitely botched it. It was one plant. It was probably like this size, you can see in the mirror. Now I've got 6. So, you know, that is what it is. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. So my plants made me have this realization. So my Monstera deliciosa, she was thriving, she was growing, she was luscious, she was green. And then she got to a point where she, like, her leaves were dying, and I was like, this isn't, oh my god, I don't like this. Why is my Monstera deliciosa not thriving anymore? And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I've had this plant for like 3 years. I'm gonna trim her up a little bit. So I took some cuttings, and when I took those cuttings, first of all, that Monstera deliciosa that was in the pot that was like starting to die on me, she started thriving. And then the others, the cuttings that I created, I've now got 6 plants. All that I needed to do was cut that plant away from the others. You may have grown up with those people or your environment that you're in. You may have known that your whole life, but trust me, when you take yourself away from it, you can expand so much more because you're no longer restricted to the plant pot that you were slotted in when you were a child, when you were younger in the past. I know that's like really reaching. I get that. I know it's reaching. I know that that's quite the analogy. But genuinely, like, I just remember looking at all my plants. This sounds so weird. I was looking at all my plants. I just had that realization. I thought, wow, like, I no longer feel that bad about growing, because actually, in order for me to grow and in order for me to be this beautiful, thriving, lush, green plant that I want to be, I need to change my environment. So that's on relationships. But then the other aspect of this is your literal environment, like your physical living space. And this one's a doozy. It can be, because some people get really offended. But I think that sometimes staying in your hometown doesn't really foster a lot of growth, because you're restricted to knowing the same people. There's that fear of, oh, I'm too cringy, or I don't want people to notice me, or I don't want to bump into people that I used to go to school with and then basically start a conversation with me about this because it's a bit awkward. And I'm a massive hypocrite because I'm still in the same place that I always have been. But I do think that sometimes for some individuals, like, go try that new place. Go change your environment up. Go, even if, like, let's say you've lived on the same street, you don't have to move across the town. Let's say you move, I don't know, across the street instead. Like, it's a new environment, it's something fresh, it gives you a new perspective, it's your own place that you can basically start planting your own seeds and putting your own roots down. And I feel like that is so important. And I don't mean like, if family is your thing, absolutely, like, you can take this in the sense that, like, planting your roots down deep family wise. Me personally, it's success, it's career, it's finding my hobbies. For a very long time I didn't have hobbies. For a very long time I didn't have hobbies, because I just was so stuck in, like, the mindset of work is everything. And work is everything, it literally pays my bills, and I'm very grateful for my job. But that being said, like, you need hobbies, you need to find what you like, what you don't like, who you don't like, what kind of life do you want to live. Like, if I stayed in the exact same environment that it is that I was growing up in, I would have made no growth. I would have been stuck in the same place with the same ideas, with the same mindsets, and you don't succeed that way. I think that the beautiful thing about being a person is that you get to learn all the time, but part of that, like, you can't learn new things if you're not going to try new things, if you're not going to move to new places or see new places. If you go to the same coffee shop every single day, you're never going to know what any other coffee tastes like. But maybe you're going to go to the coffee shop across the road, they have different coffee beans. The next thing you know, all of a sudden you like a different type of coffee bean to what you're used to. Actually, you prefer it. You wouldn't have known that if you didn't try it. And also, with that being said, when you change your environment, you also you can make mistakes, and I think that mistakes are so beautiful. And I've made my fair share of mistakes, to say the least. But I do think that mistakes are amazing because you learn so much from your mistakes. Imagine if you never made a mistake in your life, you would never learn anything. And that's just, and I know that for some people, that kind of thinking just won't go. That kind of thinking is not something they can adapt to, and I completely appreciate that. I'm not saying that everybody has to think the same way that I do, and everybody has to move, and everybody has to cut people off or whatever. Absolutely not. If it works for you, it works for you. But I'm saying, for those individuals that want to strive for more, for those individuals that want to try things that are against the grain, that want to, I don't know, maybe break certain cycles that have been happening for years and years and years, you have to change your environment. And that means changing your physical environment, that means changing the people that you surround yourself with, that even means changing your routine. So something for me, I spoke about this in another video which I'm currently editing. It might already be up at this point, it might not, I don't know, but basically something that I've started implementing is waking up very early in the morning, even on my days off. I am currently off work right now, and I'm not gonna lie, today I did not wake up as early as I usually do. But having that kind of routine, like before, if I had a day off, I'd wake up at like 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. That's ridiculous. I feel like it's such a waste of a day now. Back then I was like, I need my rest. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't rest. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that I had no routine, and I basically did whatever the hell it is that I wanted to. And I was stuck, and I felt very stagnant, and all of the things that I wanted to achieve, I wasn't achieving because I didn't have the time, because I wasn't making the time. One of the biggest changes that I made to my routine is waking up at the same time most days. So I will put my alarm on. The latest that I will be out of bed by, as in like awake and had my coffee and brushed my teeth and ready for the day, is 9 o'clock. I don't want to be in bed past 9 o'clock, unless, again, this is new. Like, there are some scenarios where I do this. Like, for an example, if me and my partner have just been traveling, the next day maybe I want to lie. But for the most part, like, I'm up and I'm ready and I'm early for the day, because then it means I can get more done. And doing that has genuinely created so much positive change, and it has helped me achieve a lot of the manifestations that I was trying to achieve for a really long time, because now I've had the time. Before I was procrastinating, I don't have time to do this, I don't have time to lose weight, I don't have time to exercise and walk and blah blah. Now I have the time because I make the time. And again, that is changing my environment, because I'm changing my routine. And because of that, because I've changed my routine slightly, I've tweaked it, I've then been able to change other aspects of my environment. The biggest thing for us is decorating our flat. So me and my partner moved in here almost 2 years ago now. When we moved in, it was a state, I'm not gonna lie, absolutely disgusting. And we kind of we gave it a couple of fresh coats of paint and we fixed some of the things that were like really broken, and then we kind of left it, and we were like, oh, we're going to decorate in a couple months time never came because we both got ourselves so sucked into work and the everyday, and then I was making excuses for things, and like I would look at my environment and I felt so frustrated with myself because I wasn't manifesting the things that I wanted to, I wasn't getting to where I wanted to do, and I wasn't becoming the person that I wanted to be because I was constantly just looking at my environment and feeling stuck, and I wasn't feeling motivated to get out of bed because I had this, sounds a little bit shallow, but I had nothing pretty to look at. Like for me, having an aesthetic home, it doesn't, and I don't mean aesthetic as like nothing's functional. We've got a very multifunctional space because we're very limited to our space. We live in a studio flat, so you know, it has to me it's important that it looks nice, but it also is functional, whatever. But I just didn't want to get out of bed and I didn't want to do anything because I just hated the environment. I was like, oh, I feel so unmotivated, I feel so frustrated that I can't make this the way that I want to do. And then things happened in our personal lives, and we kind of just decided right after Christmas that no, this is going to be like, we're going to get it sorted. And my deadline was before my birthday. My birthday is in a month, and we're pretty much there. We've changed everything that we want to change. There's still a few things like niggly bits that I wouldn't mind replacing and changing, but changing my environment every single day is so easy to wake up. But I ended up doing that because I changed my routine as well. So because I woke up early, I was able to paint whilst working. I was able to get the furniture, build the furniture whilst working or on my days off. But again, I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't change my routine. And now that my environment is better, I feel better, everything works better. And you know, you just feel inspired and you want to do more and you want to do better because you feel like you got this like oomph, you know? And again, I genuinely believe that we're like plants. We are so similar. A goldfish as well. A goldfish will only grow as big as its tank is. I'm not saying get the biggest place ever. That's not what this is saying. But if you make your environment suitable for you and able to adapt to you as you grow and you learn and you become better every single day, I mean, come on, there's literally no reason why you can't be manifesting the things that you want to manifest. Like literally the world's your oyster. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. And I think that's just so important for people to realise, and I feel like a lot of people just genuinely don't realise. It's like, and again, you don't have to go out and buy new furniture or paint everything, that's not what I'm saying, but like, even like for me, just moving some things around in here, it just changed the space and it made me want to be at home more. So it made me want to focus on the things that I want to achieve more, which meant that, okay, I wasn't going out as much and I was saying no to more things out and about, but my environment has now led me to where I am today, which is in a much better place than I was this time last year. And again, it's just insane. Like, just change your environment and everything else is going to change. Which now leads me on to my next point, your appearance. I, by no means, am somebody that believes that you need like fake nails, lashes, whatever. In fact, for me, I've stopped getting my nails done. I just paint them myself. I think, do you know what? I think it just suits my lifestyle better because me and my partner do a lot of exercise. We're out walking with the dog a lot and we're doing hikes and things. My nails are always getting caught or broken. It's just, not for me right now. But that being said, like I started dressing the way that I envisioned my highest self to dress, you know. Every single day I will try and put an effort into the way that I look. Again, there are days where I'm like, no, I just want to lay in bed the majority of the day or rest, so there's not really much point. But even when we go out with my partner on like a walk or whatever, like I make sure that I look presentable. And looking presentable does not mean expensive. It does not mean you have to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe. It just means that maybe you iron your clothes before you put them on. Maybe you actually think about the outfits that you're wearing rather than just chucking on the first thing that you see. And that has genuinely made such a big impact. So now that my environment's different, I feel like I want to look nicer and I want to put more effort into the way that I look. And when I put more effort into the way that I look, I find that things just work better in my favour. And I know that sounds so stupid, but I've literally seen it. Like, pretty privilege is a real thing. And I've seen it when I'm out with certain individuals. They will get things, you know, offered to them, or they will get treated nicer. And I had this realization that actually if I put effort into the way that I look on a daily basis, if I try and, you know, make myself like reflect the way that my environment is, then my environment will reflect that back. Does that make sense? I kind of see the world as a mirror. So if you're nice, people are going to be nice back to you. Again, you do sometimes get assholes out there. That's just going to be the way that life is, I think. But for the most part, if you're nice, people will be nice back. If you smile at someone and say thank you, you might brighten up their day. They might give you a smile back. It's just the way that it is. And I feel like if you dress nicer, if you believe in yourself more, then people are going to see that because it's confidence. And again, it's your environment. If you're hanging out with people that put you down, talk shit about others, that don't really care about the future, don't really care about their goals, don't really care about anything really, then you're going to start adopting that same mindset, and you're going to start going out into the world and being the same. You're going to be attracting that same kind of stuff into your life. If you cut those individuals out, or even minimize contact, start thinking about what it is that you want, how it is that you want to be perceived, how it is that you want to move forward in the future. Everything else will change, and it's insane how much things change, honestly. Really recommend. But yeah, that's basically the end of this video. I know it's a rambly one, they always are, but I quite like just talking about things, and I've got so many ideas, and now that I've got my little nook, there's going to be a lot more videos, and I'm so excited. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you subscribe, and make sure that you turn the post notification bell on as well, because that helps me out a ton. And share this video with someone who you think might find it useful. And yeah, that's me done for today. I shall see you guys in my next one. Bye!